attack seems to be over. Everyone okay?
Love, look, it's us.
Oh, and boy.
I think I saw my uncle
over here.
out there.
Who needs
Few weeks
fabric?
ago on a trade caravan.
If you need material for bandages, I have some. Wish I could give it out for free, but I still have to.
I wanted to be
Oh, you're back.
We can go check.
Who needs fabric? We still have stuff.
Will the dream throws break through?
That's not a fair question to ask.
It's okay.
If you need skates, we got things for you to kill.
Do everything we can to keep you safe. Promise most of the guy
It'll be good. I've heard. Let me know. Enjoy. Put him out of his misery. Will you?
You there, the one with... Hello, friend. Has anyone mentioned you look especially fungal today? Really, it's radiant. I've got a bit of a personal matter, and I'd appreciate some help. Ah, a kind and helpful soul comes to my aid. Long story. Some goods, something I'd rather stay private. Embarrassing, you know. So, I'm quite desperate for a friendly and discreet courier. Oh, you know, I'm just an intensely private person. My supplier has sequestered himself somewhere with my package. To find him, I'd have to follow the path. They communicate through graffiti, if you can believe it. I've not been able to find any of it, though. Maybe you'll have better luck. What? No! That's crazy! You're so crazy. We certainly don't need to tell Hajime about our crazy ideas either. Well, that's a plus for you. Okay. Well, glad to have you on board then. Well, looks like you best be off. Be sure to get there and back quick as you can. I'll be here waiting. Don't forget your friend Daiko and his completely legal package that you said you'd pick up.
You hungry? I might be able to help.
Another day, and
My dear envoy, just the sight of you recalls fond memories of more civilized days. I would know it in your bearing, envoy, even if I did not recognize your face. You must be high crown born and bred. I visited in better days, spent many nights in her ports.
He's practically an Adiran citizen.
How I miss the sight of your strapping tall grass pikemen on parade. I'm afraid I don't make it down the coast much anymore. Not since the loss of my men. Ugh, my maundering. Forgive me, envoy. This land takes its toll on my mind and spirit both. I am Nagunu, beleaguered captain of an incorrigibly roustabout crew. Dear Taue, Koa, Ranga, they saw Adir with me, you know, then abandoned me here. Oh, I miss them terribly.
Nostalgia and alcohol are a dangerous mixture.
I am drunk on memory only, and perhaps some regret. I only wish I could invite my crew to my table, to share one last drink and part as friends. You would do that? Venture out into the wastes to look for them? I knew the moment I saw you, you were a paragon of your people. If anyone could convince Taue, Koa, and Ranga to share one last drink with me, it's you. Deathly serious, Koa was, about every little thing. Fled to the shark's teeth with a few others when the plague came. I understand. But if you see Taue by the oasis, or Koa hiding out in the teeth, or Ranga in her mine, please ask them to come home. Oathbinder guide you.
Going out to the highlands, watch your back. They're dangerous. Oh, maybe I should hire a bard. Better than off-key shanties all day.
My soul will not be settled until I can see my crew again.
did you?
Are they dead? It had to be done.
It can make you stronger, but you never have to like it. Don't forget that.
Let's go, Nameho. We need to be with them now.
They'll be all right. Eventually.
Why do you spend so much on glaze, Merrick? Your pots look fine.
They're urns, ashes. They're supposed to look dignified on a shelf.
Why does it matter? Dead. Seems like a waste of coin money.
Yeah, I'm not taking advice from someone who makes bowls to shit in.
Telling me they nearly destroyed Fior?
Yes, and they stole my research on the goddess. I have to get it back.
Let it go, Yatsley. They'll kill you.
They can certainly try.
Oh, gods. And Adiran, what is it this time?
Don't worry, darling. The official Adiran envoy is here at my request.
What I want to know is why she's in the company of one of our own.
I meant to stop by, but I guess time got away from me.
I'll deal with you later. We have unfinished business. But your friend has some explaining to do. Why have you come to Thirdborn? After what your people did in Emerald Stair, I can't imagine you carry an edict of friendship with you. Yeah, I'm sure that's what Ludwig said to the Animancers as she tried to scorch their homes.
I know you're upset, Timothy, but don't take it out on us. I'm furious too, darling. That monster stole my research, and who knows what she plans for it. But you know, if this Adiran was untrustworthy, I'd kill her myself.
I apologize, Envoy. Eagle's Reach is a slaughterhouse. Dreamthrall siege our gates day and night. People are hungry, and I have not slept in days. So my temper is a powder keg, I'm afraid. I am trying not to explode. This isn't a courtesy visit, is it? I assume you're here delivering a message on behalf of Adir. To Head Sharpshooter, First Class of Shatterscarp, Tamerti Kaiwa III. Ludwig wants the ruins of Naku Kubel, or will suffer the Steel Garot's wrath. Another shit atop the pile, then. Not that I can do a damn thing about it.
You're not going to give in, are you? Those ruins are a marvel. They're irreplaceable.
I know, Yatsley. If we give them an inch, the Adirans won't stop until they have everything. But even if I wanted to hand over the ruins, they aren't in my power to surrender. Trust me, I am very aware of all those things. You might even say I've been fighting for those things. But there's one little problem. The Archmage Ringrim has warped the very reality of Shatterscarp. Let's just say there's a magical barrier around the ruins now. No one's getting in or out without Ringgrim's say-so.
Ringgrim? As in from the Circle of Archmagi? She's here?
The very one. I feared you'd be excited. Her presence isn't a good thing, Yatsley. She flew into the Shark's Teeth a few weeks ago, and now that area is an impenetrable wasteland of ice. I heard there's an Adiran who had his mind utterly broken by her. He's still lost out there as far as I know.
Maybe even an entrance to the garden. We absolutely have to go inside and see for ourselves. The Circle of Archmagi don't get involved unless there's something they can gain. They're not really known for their altruism. Look at the Siege of Craghold. And that was just so that Lengrath could try and show up Consulhot.
The truth is, I'm up to my neck in catastrophes. Between the horde of dream thralls pounding on our gates and trying to keep peace with Adir, I've had to station guards on our borders to control who goes in and out, just to keep everyone safe. I never thought I'd say this, but the Archmage is the least of my concerns. So, Ludwine wants the ruins, but even if I wanted to give them over, Reengrim controls them. And good luck getting an audience with an Archmage. I didn't know they made adherents with such bravery. You never know what marvels you live to see. You're likely gonna die a very horrible death, but I pray Galawain will at least make it fast.
If she doesn't want to be found, that's all the more reason for us to go looking.
When an Archmage like Ringgrim decides they don't want to be disturbed, they make sure of it. There are rumors she uses the bones of the ancient dead to guard her domain. Yes, and please, I don't need to know more. Ringrim's given me and my troops enough nightmares already. Blame you if you choose to run away. But if you want to find Ringrim, head east of here, go past the Pargrunin ruins, and when you see the ice, you're there. And Yatsley, be careful. If Quilichi lost you, he'd never forgive me.
Oh, don't worry about me, Temerti. If my spells fizzle, I can always give a good lashing with my tongue.
That's what I'm afraid of. Good luck. Good. It might convince her to keep you safe, too. One last thing. Once you had a moment to settle in with Yatsley, come back and speak with me. I need your help with something.
How exciting. We're off to see an Archmage. To gain access to an ancient godless ruin. You do spoil me. I've just the fragrance for such an occasion. I want to make sure I smell my best when she kills us. Meet me by the tavern when you're ready to head out. Make sure all your gear is up to snuff. We are meeting an Archmage, after all.
Thank goodness we have Yatsley. Our little friend group needed a bit of chaos.
Patience, darling. Patience, darling. I'll meet you at the tavern.
The attack sounded terrible. I could hear the fight from in here. It's getting harder and harder to pretend everything's all right. Hungry? I might be able to have...
Don't forget your friend Daiko. Welcome back.
Godlike. Godlike. Winds above.
You're really here. I knew I had to find you as soon as I heard you were in Thirdborn.
Chico? When did you get so tall? I almost didn't recognize you.
Kai! You're here too? Now I know Thirdborn is in good hands. We've got to do something about the Dream Scourge. It's worse every day. One of our neighbors wasn't himself. People like Kai. And my uncle Capo.
Me? You don't know what you're saying. Believe me. But Capo, he's the real deal. That old salt's a monster slayer.
That Leviathan hanging over the market? That was his work. Of course he did! I still hear people reminisce about him dragging it back to the shore. But, well, Thirdborn hasn't seen the Capo I know in a long time. I've tried everything to convince him to get out of the house. He may be old now, but we can still use his experience. I hate to impose, but would you pay him a visit? He lives on the northeast side of town.
Ah, isn't this a surprise? Giada, come say hello.
If you need something, get over here and talk to me. What's taking you so long?
Let me guess. My Nikai sent you. That kid's been muttering about sending some new hero by.
Old man Capo. Glad to see you're...
Kai, what rock have you been hiding under?
Your eyesight finally going? But we didn't come here to talk about my handsome mug. That Nikai of yours still getting underfoot, I take it?
Damn child won't stop hovering over me. They keep trying to send so-called heroes over to cheer me up, but there's not much point these days. Back when Thirdborn was no more than a husk on the cliffside, we had real heroes. Ah, let me tell you. I had but a few harpoons and a single boat that morning. It had taken days to track the creature. My food and water were running out. When I found it, the beast heaved itself up from the water and crashed down onto me. And there, I thrust a harpoon deep into its belly and killed it. Oh, it took days to tow its body back on the flotsam of my boat.
I love the story, even if the fish gets bigger every time.
Ah, well. Those days are long past. I'm a sick old man now. Not much I can do in Thirdborn anymore. Still, maybe Chico was onto something when they sent you. You're the one who cleared the dream thralls at the gates, aren't you? Ah, good to know someone is looking out for Thirdborn at least. I tell you what. This old man would like to ask a boon of you. One hero to another. I promise it'll be worth your while. I want to see my heart one last time. Will you get it for me? A Leviathan heart is a rare thing. When left out in the air, it becomes as hard as Adra, and 100 times as valuable. And I had the only one in the living lands. I couldn't just leave it on my kitchen table now, could I? No, I kept it safe, hidden up in the godless ruin along the coast. But now, I'm dying. I can feel it in my bones. I don't have long, and I'd like to see my treasure one more time. Get it for me, and I'll see you get a reward. Beyond that, well, I left that old ruin with a few tricks for would-be thieves. Step carefully.
Thanks for the tip. We would have explored it eventually. At least now we have a reason.
Good luck, godlike.
Oh, it's you. I'm not sure what you did out in the mines, but, the prices are what they are now. Thought you'd want to know.
Be nice if we had guns like that. I wouldn't be so fucking terrified of the dream thralls otherwise.
Guns like that. On our wages? Come on, be serious.
Maybe I should take up adventuring. Sell one or two fancy crops from those old ruins and I'd have enough, huh?
So, that's how the mad archmage Tame found himself.
Yoo-hoo! Over here, dearie. There you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, how much do you know about Reengrim? Oh, lovely. Then you know what we're up against. Oh, her spells are legendary. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Eora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Aldra's titties. The circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant. Well, Nakukubel is the largest of the godless ruins. It's still got its share of secrets. There must be something in there of interest to Reengrim. Probably something powerful. I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel Garrote bastards stole all my research about the Godless. They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Reengrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
Naturally. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Really, though, that would be dangerous. We'll catch up later, Yatsli. Take care of the envoy for me.
Perfect. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Fish! Get your fish! Don't forget your friend Tycho.
subtle. Next time, they ought to go for X marks the spot.
Well, at least we know where we're going.
Don't tell me you're outranted. We need to make bandages.
No, who needs fabric? We still have stock.
I can't just make more linen out of thin air.
What am I supposed to do? Do you want everyone to bleed out?
Does it even matter? There are always more injured and dying than there are supplies. It's hopeless.
There's gotta be a better way to fight dream thralls.
Don't see Addie or hurting over it. They're out in Eagle's Reach like it's a training exercise.
Who needs fabric? We still have stock.
If it's a training exercise they're running, surely they won't care if some supplies go missing.
Wouldn't that be a shame, huh?
How do you feel about poetry?
Poetry? Why the hell are you asking me about poetry?
Do you like it? Oh, come on, you can tell me. Say a few lines of poetry.
Wait. Do you think I have the dream surge?
No, I don't. But I wanted to be sure. Okay?
I must have done 100 shifts on those watchtowers. Never saw so much Thirdborn blood under them.
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. I always ask nicely. But as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? Well, because I'm the foremost expert on the godless, of course. So I must study their artifacts when I can. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. I've yet to be burned in a single flame trap, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. Fair guess, though. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. That was my assumption as well. Barrett's balls. It's nice to know I won't have to dumb things down with you. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Nightmares are still dreams, Envoy. Just not ones you'd recommend to others. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
I've been a lot of places I never wanted to go, but that was among the worst.
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Yaxley, when all of this is behind us, are you going back? The dream scourge is getting worse. First our land. If we don't put a stop to it, we're looking at the end of the living lands. How can anyone expect us to do both? As if the dream scourge wasn't enough of a problem, the Adherents are profiting off our misfortune. They haven't come to help us. They're here to exploit our weakness. The steel garrote are a weapon. Who do you think wields them? It's too bad. We're fighting for our lives, our souls, and our freedom. I don't know if we can win all three. You really think so? I don't appreciate being backed into a corner, but here I... You too.
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle... And home just wasn't the same. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis. Dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. I guess it felt like one, too. Hardtack and Merc brew after a long day's patrol tasted better than any feast. Yeah, but I thought age was supposed to bring wisdom. Something to balance out the back pains and creaky knees. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. For a while, I suppose. Eventually, you need more. What about you? You were sent by your Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. Between releasing Egwolf and thwarting the Steel Garrote and Emerald Stair, you've opposed your empire's interests. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides? That kind of clarity is rare. Your Emperor's lucky to have you. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. I'll be here if you need me.
What is it? Listening to Yardsley's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else. Well, don't you think it's a little convenient? You need to go somewhere no one ever goes, and here she is to show you the way? If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then. Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway. Until next time.
Oh, Envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? We need to discuss what happened in Emerald Stair, don't you think? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise. That's what happens when you're the breadbasket of the living lands. Sometimes things get stale. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't. I know, and she knows. Let's leave it at that. Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tadek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young-at-heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel, and a girl's gotta eat sometime. Who says I did? I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Brilliant, Envoy.
You don't have to be an animancer to enjoy the pleasure of their company.
Exactly. Thank you, darling. Even with the stunning lack of animancy in my life, I marched into town and everyone fell in love with me. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course, but a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. It's so much easier to do when you're younger. Now, I enjoy eating and watching Quilichi cook far too much. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilichi and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked. it's not a fairy tale, darling. We've been happy for the most part. Any rough patches got smoothed over well enough. I only thought about killing him once or twice. He's probably thought the same a bit more. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. At least Quilici is with them, so I know someone competent is there. Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help, darling? Don't let the bedbugs bite, dearie. Do you think you could teach me to shoot?
Sure.
Despite everything that's happened, in many ways, oh, she's an expert, and while I have your attention, why is Inquisitor Ludwig She's a smart one. I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet. Thanks for talking.
Anyway.
Sure.
But why?
I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse. At least I know how to deal with those sorts of things. Rope, lantern, extra water skins. How come the answers are never in a little oasis with shade and drink service? I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway. Pleasant dreams. Yonatan.
I beg your pardon?
Huh?
You think those Adirans were onto something? Or were they onto something before you ended their studies? Do you think they could have cured the dreams? You may be right. Of course, now we'll never know. I just hope we made the right decision. A wrong choice here means that people die, Envoy. Perspective won't matter much to the dead. Had you left them to their own devices, who knows what we would have gained? A cure might sound far-fetched, but what if they found treatments for the Dream Scourge? And even other ailments? But our loss, I suppose. Well, that's all I had to say. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Unless there's something else you want to chat about? How can I help, Doug? Always a pleasure, Envoy.
Seeds of change. Their petals sprout across the barren land. They sing to the unwanted ones, and the unwanted ones sprout in turn. The soil remembers what it once was. It will soon be whole, safe. A name given to the land, not asked for. You see why the parasites are loathed? The soil does not want these cities. It yearns for silence, for the kestrel song. But first, the sprouted ones will grow. They will... The dam falls. The river returns to its source. It is how the land was and should always be. We want all of them gone. We wish for life to flourish again. Efforts paid in blood. They lie to the earth, to themselves. Death nourishes the soul. The spider devours her mate to lay her eggs. We ponder. Singing sand. The teeth and the dunes, a lion kneel. What ruled the land alone? Let the vulture feed once, and the flock. We feel the people, we smell desperate. They turn. A spark. What do you know of this? For years we walked gifts, promises. Still, the word eludes our grasp. Do its waves? Mystery. Uncharted coastline. New leaves. A bush how can it sprout? From what well does it spring? Kith set apart from beasts. A calling beyond. We have learned much.
Who needs fabric? Oh, you're back.
Don't forget your friend Daiko and his completely... Welcome back.
I've got the...
Welcome to the... Looking at... Are you kidding? Anybody? Now.
Let me know if you need...
I was just getting warmed up.
What? What in Remergon's 10 frosty balls are you doing here? How did you even find this place? Well, I don't smell his rum-sick flop sweat on the wind, so he can't be nearby. He must have sent you to do his dirty work. Go on, then. Try to kill me. I know that's why you're here. I knew that old drunk would come looking around eventually. He's been trying to kill me for years. The man's obsessed. That's funny. Now tell me what he really said. A little reunion. Cute. What did Taue and Koa say to that? Well, my answer's the same either way. No. I'm sure he put on a good show for you. And shit, maybe he really is lonely. But I have no doubt he's been up in that little lighthouse of his in Thirdborn plotting our demise. So no, I won't share a drink with him, and you can tell him I said so. I don't care what Taue does, and Koa should know better than to trust him. Much as I miss our best days, Envoy. They're not my crew anymore. I surely hope so. So long, Envoy. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
And that is why Adra and Copper are the only reliable. Conductors of soul essence. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Right. I think you lost me a while back there.
Really?
Swarm, devour!
Treacherous men! Seek! Fear in the eye!
Another glorious battle.
Who needs fabric? We still have stuff.
Ah, hello, stranger. Really? Which one? One less thing for me to worry about. Thank you. Enjoy your skates. Well, off you go.
Who needs fabric? We still have stuff.
Did you leave anyone back home?
I left everyone I knew when I left. Thanks for mentioning it.
No, I mean, did you leave someone special?
They're all special. That's the whole point of friends.
No, I...
Dead! Worse than rot! I think worse than rot! Be your sake!
That's one for us.
Praise Andra! Help at last! My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and as we were sleeping, we were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised, and it was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. So, can you just go in and see what happened to everyone? Please? Well, yes, of course. We decided to take care of the Zorbs, you see. You heard about Fior, right? But what's to stop the Steel Garrote from doing the same here? We have to be prepared to protect ourselves, just in case. Plus, Captain Ruiki's great-grandmother was a general, so we even had a real leader among us. Well, this would have been our first time, but Captain Ruiki thought we were ready. The Zorbs have been getting closer to town recently. We just wanted to nip this problem in the bud. So can you just go in the cave and check on everyone? Please? Oh, thank you. Please help them however you can. And if they're dead, well, we badges together before we came out here. And everyone should still have theirs. Find those, and you'll find the squad. Be sure to come back as soon as you learn anything.
A fellow traveler. Nothing to peddle here. Sorry, got to be on my way. Former merchant, even I know my limits. Thirdborn has the Dream Scourge. Ugh, terrible. I'm leaving, and you should too. I tried to tell them my vapors would protect their minds from the change. They wouldn't listen.
For the same reason, we're not using Adra to cure headaches.
Nonsense! My grandfather sailed the high seas for 30 years, and he saw ancient remedies that far surpass our modern ones. But it's no use. Thirdborn's past saving. Now, if you don't mind, I should really be going. The better question is why you're not running from a soul plague. And I'm far too pressed for time to ask it. Fair winds, traveler. Ingrates.
If you insist.
Then!
We make a good squad.
I know Zarek can be pissed.
Good one! Dead!
Envoy, watch your left!
Worse than rot!
gonna have sand everywhere by the time we make camp.
We'll get them next time, dear.
You're mine now!
For your sake! Man! Worse than rock! Seek! I think worse than rock! I think worse than rock! worth and rot! Be your savior! Dead! Worth and rot!
I'm not used to quiet.
Worth and rot!
Just like the good old days.
you know where the whetstone for my scalpel is, can you go away? This is a pristine specimen. So hurry along. I'm not one to share, no matter how nicely you ask.
Customer. Please make yourself comfortable. When you're ready, we can get down to business. Hajime and the Tiranui will... Greetings and salutations, traveler. Welcome to our shop. Still a work in progress, of course. But once you stop being blurry, we can get to business. No, my vision's perfect. Just since I got bit by that giant spider, things have been blurry. It probably wasn't even venomous. The bite's not even that itchy. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, but Kauka can take a look at me once our business is concluded.
Unfortunately, I'm much better with things that aren't so alive.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Really, it sounds like you worry too much. Really? Daiko sent you? Can I ask just what he expected? Did he think sending a messenger would make me forget what an ass he is? You're the one who made things complicated. It's just like Daiko. Now that I've done all the legwork, he just wants to swoop in and take half of everything. He's always been like this ever since we were children. Clearly, I'm the more industrious brother. Couldn't you tell? I know we don't look alike, but...
Trust me, you two have plenty in common.
I thought that since Daiko and I were twins, we'd be similar enough for us to not fight. Guess I was wrong. Now you tell me. You know what? It doesn't matter. As long as I get paid. Preferably more than Daiko. Here's the package you wanted. That'll... Whoa. Couldn't feel my head for a moment. Oh, that'll cost you, of course.
Aiko, did you forget the pitch again?
No, of course not. Our lovely customer just loved it so much, she wants to hear it again. Our wares are locally sourced and only harvested from those who have been humanely put down.
He means we find dream thralls who are already dead.
Only because we're too scared to kill them ourselves.
My friends, our client must be bored by such details.
Aiko, out of all the schemes you've cooked up, this is by far the dumbest.
Oh, of course. When you say it that way, it makes perfect sense.
Just inhale the substance sharply through your nose and it's perfectly safe. Probably. Shortly after, you should see visions beyond your wildest dreams.
Sea blossoms, fields of stars. What does he know?
Now, about payment. Will you really not pay me?
Oh dear. Not blessed with brains, was he?
Aiko, the last time you got an enterprising streak, you were trying to pass off rotten eggs as Gringill Shark Row.
Oh, I get it. In that case, I thank you.
Just when I was worried Thirdborn had...
Oh, and be careful. It's supposed to be an especially potent batch. Actually, before you go, am I the only one who just lost their vision? Oh, I don't feel so good.
Aiko's dead? Told him that spider bite wasn't supposed to be the size of a melon, didn't I, Shizu?
Yes, Kauka, you did several times.
Several times? Now I'll have to find someone else to let me dissect bodies we find. It'll take forever.
You know, the responsible thing would be to try a sample. To make sure it's safe, of course. I thought you'd never ask. Poor decisions and questionable substances with crewmates. Ah, this takes me back. Reminds me of the time I tried to buy coral snuff and Deadfire. Pretty sure it was sawdust.
Perhaps it just needs time to take effect?
Why do you cloud your eyes? Could we not have shown you these things?
What matters is we tried it together.